Oh, the cold weather is certainly helping set the stage for what should be a physical primetime contest at Pittsburgh's Acrisure Stadium. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Now a play fake here on first down. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
Play action here on the first play from scrimmage. They want to see how the linebackers are going to react. Are they looking to stop the run? Or are they going to sit back in coverage? A really nice job there of going in attack mode early, and they pick up a quick first down.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. You look at the Steeler defense. They're a tough unit to throw against. Currently 4th toughest in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. That's into the hands of the rookie from Ole Miss. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 38-yard line. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
And defensively here, it's hard to overlook the fact that this is an offense that's dead last in the NFL in rushing. So this back seven's going to be tested. Heck, might be more of a back 8. No doubt about that. And they surrender the catch here and the first down.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
And that one complete downfield to Johnson. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hole.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so because they don't catch all of them.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Steelers are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. A short one there to Freiermuth. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. If you're these receivers, you got to be ready, because when he's going to throw it quick on that RPO, he's going to throw it quick.
And this is why you spend time with your guy either in the offseason, during the week, the whole bundle. Because sometimes just telepathy. You both see the same thing, and he knows get the ball to him right away.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and 2. Now run straight ahead with Warren. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. The Steelers at 500, sitting at 5-5. They were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So you know they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
In motion right is Watkins. They'll get it forward to him on the touch pass. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It'll be a gain of 16 for number 16. Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
And a nice little start as he's able to get this up to the 28. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Someone's looking fresh, and this O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain too.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's second and a couple. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. 12 yards that time, and a Pittsburgh first. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? Five or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be second and 8.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Second down and 8. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And this is incomplete.
When a linebacker diagnoses a screen, who wins? The quarterback getting a throw over to the back in time, or the linebacker running in to knock it away? With the athleticism of modern linebackers, they win the race more often than not.
Eighth play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on third down. In motion left here, one of their tight ends. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Touchdown! George Pickens, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he goes out of bounds after a solid return to the 45.
Well, you gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, Everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. Samuel. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. You look at this Raiders defense. Right now, they're ranked number 29 in the NFL against the pass. So 4th from the bottom, Charles.
They're in the bottom 10 in the league. I mean, when you look at their talent, you would think that they'd be much better. Overall, I don't think there's any question you'd have to say that they've underachieved.
And they'll give them another shot here on the ground. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. They'll come up facing 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun, Shelby. A short one there to Freiermuth. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. That's about as good as a linebacker can diagnose that play, isn't it?
It certainly is, and what he did really well is that while he was diagnosing, he got his feet in motion without actually going anywhere and taking a false step that he had to make up later. He read it, got his feet in motion, and then he just took off and made the play.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, complete. That's Watkins. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. They'll try to run this one in. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A great play there. His 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point now by Boswell. Oh, this is blocked. Oh, the Raiders have it, but he will not be able to bring this one back, in the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Well, times have definitely changed on the PAT, on the extra point, haven't they? A lot more effort goes into this play from both sides.
Because let's face it, a lot of time on extra points, the effort is not what it is when you're trying to block a field goal.
No doubt about it. Before, when the ball was snapped on the 2-yard line, it was really a virtual chip shot. Now everyone believes they can get to it and knock it away, and we know how crucial every point is. So the defensive guys, they spend a lot more time trying to get that done, which means there's more pressure on the offensive guys trying to kick it.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Now a 2nd and 2. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a give up the middle. This is White. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
2nd and 1. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And some room to roam now. Down to the 10. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Alvin Kamara, his 104th career touchdown. One shy of Tim Brown on the all-time list. And the Raiders have got it back to within a score. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 13-7. On as the Raider kickoff unit now, as they will send this one away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they are back down to 500 following the loss last week. Consistency has been a real issue for them so far.
Brandon, you almost don't know what team is going to show up every week. I mean, there's no consistency with this ball club at all, and if we feel that way, I I know it frustrates the coaching staff, and it also has to frustrate the key leaders in the locker room. They got to figure out how to get coordinated. Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
2nd and 10. Back to throw. Shelby. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. That's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
They're able to convert with a gain of 4. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Going deep here for Watkins. Toward the sideline, intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Raiders are going to get the football back at their own 17.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
That one's complete out to Michael Mayer. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
Any questions of how they'd approach this drive were answered right there. They come out throwing. And they get a nice pickup here toward the end of the first half.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Flushed out right. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only 1st down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on 2nd down.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
From the gun on 3rd down. Samuel. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. This is White on the screen. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though?
This is caught inside the 15. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Zamir White as the first half is winding down. And the Raiders have tied the ball game with a chance to take the lead into the locker room. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will give them the lead here as we get on towards halftime. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10. Off play action. Shelby escaping the pressure right. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
A final shot before break. Shelby. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Steelers going to get the football first here, trailing on the scoreboard as we are back underway on EA Sports. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the 3rd quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the 3rd quarter.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. Operating from the gun. Shelby going deep here for Watkins. And for the third time tonight, he's intercepted. And the Raiders are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Second down, and it's Kamara again. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
The terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this 3rd and long. That is caught. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 41-yard line. 27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, but he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
It's Myers again with another catch. They'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Give him back-to-back catches now. That one for 16 and another first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. Samuel. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Bowers. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
White will get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The Steeler defense proving its mettle here. And now this is 3rd and goal. Back to throw. Samuel. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
The holding penalty, that puts him in an unenviable spot here as they try again on 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. Samuel. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And the Steelers are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. So this offense moving the ball well, trying to open up a 2-score lead here in the 3rd quarter, but now potentially a play that could have big ramifications.
Yeah, you've driven the ball down the field. Things are looking up, but it takes just one bad decision to throw things off the rails.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Back to throw. Shelby. He's going to look deep for Watkins. That is incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Second and long. He's got his tight end Freiermuth right side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
3rd quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And they'll get this across the midfield stripe, but still winding up short of the first down. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Cameron Johnston now, as he should be able to pin him back. And now the Man has it. It's a fake. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. So a definite surprise there. They try to fake punt, but this time it's going to blow up in their face, CD.
Yeah, it certainly has. And look, I understand what they're trying to do. They're trailing right now, probably trying to generate some momentum. But that felt like one of those go-for-broke type of a plays in a situation where I don't know that they needed to do that. They still have opportunities, and in this case, they took a chance, and it backfired.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. In motion left goes Myers. Looking to throw. Samuel. That's caught by Myers. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 27. They'll go up the middle with White. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative play?
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Joey Porter Jr. And the Steelers are right back in this football game. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. A golden opportunity for them now following the interception. They need to try to at least get 3. Obviously, a touchdown puts them in a much more secure position. Throwing to start the drive. Shelby. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Back to throw. Shelby going deep here for Watkins. And that's caught inside the 35. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Quez Watkins, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Steelers use the defensive breakdown to take the lead away here in the 4th. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. And I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
And it is incomplete, so they can't convert for 2. And now the lead stays at 5. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. The pressure is on now. They're being shut out here in the second half after a decent first half offensively. And they need their best drive of the game right here. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 40. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They run straight ahead here with White. Oh, no, he lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And his crew will take over with the football at the 45-yard line. He has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Over the middle, he's got Watkins. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
Looking to throw. Shelby. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Now it looks like we're going to get stoppage here. An injured Steeler on that last play. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory, right at the 40. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Javon Holland coming up to make the stop. Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Here now, 2nd and 9 from the 39-yard line. There they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
This is 3rd and 2, maybe the biggest play in this football game. Back to throw. Shelby. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Merritt. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. This game, it's been defensively oriented on both sides, so I guess it stands to reason that the play of the game comes on defense.
So it's my kind of game. You know that.
That's
anytime
right.
we have
That's
a defensive battle, but that, as you said, it stands to reason that's the way the game tilted. Someone had to make a big play, and the way the defenses were dominating, that's exactly what we got.
So now an extra point doesn't help much. They'll try to go for 2 to make the difference a field goal, and they can lead it by 3. They'll look to throw. And no, incomplete. They can't convert. So they tried to bump the lead up to a field goal. Instead, it stays at 1 here in the 4th. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. This is 1st and 10. Slot man moves right. Throwing after the interception. Shelby, he's going to float this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. 76 yards. And the Steelers have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. So a big play now as the Steelers will go for 2. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. And he'll get it here on the touch pass. And he is not going to make it. So they won't be able to move this lead up to a touchdown as it'll remain a 5-point ball game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that one going to hop into the end zone, and it'll come out to the 20. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Samuel. Open man right side, Myers. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. Here comes 2nd down. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. They will run with White out of the shotgun. Across midfield. He's on his way. And he'll be ridden out of bounds all the way down at the 15-yard line.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
They go right back to White here on 1st down. They juked him. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here we go, 1st and goal. Kamara will take this one in for a Vegas touchdown.
And touchdown, and congratulations, and 0 relaxation ahead of them, right? Way too much time on the clock for them to start celebrating.
Yeah, part 1 is done, but now on the sideline, you can already see them scrambling down there. They're getting those defensive guys ready.
Yes, you have to get those guys ready, and you also have to talk to your special teams guys. Make sure the kickoff is exactly what you want.
That is intercepted.
I know there's some time on the clock, but I still think you kick the extra point there and don't go for 2 and go for the win in that spot.
Yeah, time or no time, why not just take the 1 and even the score?
And then that way, no matter what, at least you know what you're dealing with now. It's a whole different strategy. You got to decide whether you're going to onside kick or just try and play defense and get the ball back.
And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Raiders have just about sewn up this football game. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
Now 2nd and 5. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Try and push the pile. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the 4th. Here's A.J. Cole now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's 1st down. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's got some space here.
Intercepted by the Raiders. They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Victory all but assured now as they take a knee here, and they're going to escape with a 1-point victory. And that knee will do it. So they snap the losing streak. Always a good feeling. Yeah, I don't know if this one right here, when they're taking a knee, is as much exultation as exhalation, right? They just breathe a sigh of relief. Finally got a win, needed one desperately. So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders. And it's going to be their defense that gets the ink in the headlines tomorrow, and for good reason. They forced 5 turnovers in this game.
And while we were watching this game unfold, I kept thinking about when we did our training camp tour and something that you noticed along the way. Just about every camp we visited, when the defense got together, everyone was doing ball drills. Defensive linemen, linebackers, secondary, because they understood how vital it was to take the football away. And they wanted every opportunity. When the ball was knocked free, they want all those guys to be familiar with touching the ball so they could pick up the fumble or get the interception, and we saw it pay off in this one here.
Yeah, 5 times. They'll remember this one. So for the Raiders, The win is a good one for morale, but little else as they move to 3-8. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, it's starting to look like it won't be their year as they drop to 5-6. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs.